All right, here's a topic today that I don't know, maybe it's been a month or so since I've talked about, but I've got a few questions on my Instagram account and a few in the comment sections of the YouTube videos asking if I could share what my experience was like with extreme hunger. These people that are asking are experiencing it and wondering when it's going to end, and is this normal, and should they be responding to all of this hunger? And the answer is yes, that you should be responding to all of this hunger. Absolutely. You can't eat too much food when you're recovering from a restrictive eating disorder. And that doesn't mean that, I'm not saying, this is how people will interpret this. I'm not saying, let me repeat that. This is what I'm not saying is you can't eat too much food so long as you're in a body that looks underweight. That's not what I'm saying. And I feel like that's how that's always interpreted when it comes to extreme hunger. Somehow, if somebody is experiencing extreme hunger and they don't look the part of having anorexia, right, then this doesn't apply to them. And that is a load of crap. It's not true. This applies to everyone. If you're experiencing extreme hunger, I don't care what your body looks like right now, doesn't matter. Clearly your body needs and wants more food. So your judgment about like, well, is this justified? Well, do I deserve this? Is this okay though? Is this healthy for me though? Yes, because people who are in a body where their body feels safe and it feels like homeostasis has occurred and they feel like it's effortless to maintain where they're at, people that are in a place like that aren't experiencing extreme hunger. I don't have days of extreme hunger anymore, right? I have days that are like sometimes hungrier than other days now, but nothing even remotely close to what it felt like when I was going through that stage. Another thing that I think is like a myth or some kind of misunderstanding about extreme hunger is that it's this insatiable, fiery, burning pit in your stomach that just can't get satisfied. And that wasn't how it was for me. It was for like a week, maybe two, where I just felt like everything I was eating, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. But it didn't happen right away. It wasn't until I was responding to a lot of mental hunger and eating a ton of food. And then it kind of was like, oh, I'm hungry. And then it went really fast. And then I was full, but I was still mentally starving. And so I think sometimes extreme hunger is just automatically assumed that it means that you're just like burning through everything you're eating and you just can't feel full physically. Most of my extreme hunger experience was me feeling pretty full and still wanting to eat and still wanting to eat and still wanting, no matter how full I got, I still wanted to eat. That was extreme hunger. Okay. So when you're listening to any video that's talking about extreme hunger, it's not just talking about physical hunger. It's also talking about mental hunger. And mental hunger is what got me recovered. If I would have stopped, gosh, can you imagine? If I would have stopped as soon as I started feeling physically full, once my extreme physical hunger came down, and I just would have been like, well, I must be recovered now. I'm just going to start listening to my hunger cues. And they never came because I was always full. How on earth would I have rewired? How would I have fully actually really rehabilitated anything? So you have to trust that mental hunger is so incredibly important, and it is reliable. That's another great thing. Physical hunger, when you've come from an eating disorder or restrictive past, it's not reliable. It's all out of whack, right? It's lost its ability to send any messages because you've ignored those messages for so long. So you can't expect physical hunger to be accurate. But mental hunger, see, that is always going to be reliable. And that's something that is going to feel extreme for almost your entire recovery. So just kind of settle in and embrace the fact that if your eyes are open, your brain is thinking about food and your mouth wants food in it, and you got to respond to that. It's really that simple. So my experience with extreme hunger was just that, like I said. Initially, when I got started, I was like, what is this idea of unrestricted eating? I don't even know what this means. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm just going to start eating. And I started eating a little bit more freely and eating more food. And then I was like, whoa, like I just ate a meal and I feel hungry. Whoa, this is crazy. Week or two of that. And then, whoa, I feel pretty full, but I still want another sandwich. And I just finished that sandwich and now I'm really full, but why do I still want ice cream? I guess I'm gonna have some ice cream. I just finished the ice cream. Okay, this is getting nuts. I can't. This is crazy, but seriously, I want another sandwich now. So you see what I mean? It was just that all day long. And then as soon as I made that rule or that idea in my head that once I admitted to myself, I actually really do. I just kind of want to like eat all day long, if I'm being honest. Like that's what my mental hunger is asking for in all different forms. It wasn't just like food, food, food. It was like go up and go for a walk and do something. And you got to busy yourself. What are you going to do between this time and this time? You have empty space. You got to fill it. All of that was mental hunger. And once I identified all of those things as mental hunger and I just accepted the fact that I just wanted to eat all day long and there wasn't anything to be embarrassed about. There wasn't anything to be ashamed about. It is what it was, regardless of my judgment about it. I kind of settled into the idea of unrestricted eating. I started to embrace it and I started to just kind of roll with it and be like, well, I guess I eat all day long. And that's what happened. And I feel like the people that are willing to do that and go there and get uncomfortable physically and mentally, things start shifting in their brain. I think one of the biggest hurdles people have when it comes to extreme hunger is they do start feeling full, really full. And feeling full isn't as painful as like breaking a bone or delivering a baby, right? Feeling full is uncomfortable, but it's not going to kill you, right? It's not going to cause you to be in excruciating pain. If you were in the hospital and, they come in and they say, what's your pain level, 1 to 10? If you've got a broken bone and a bone's protruding through your arm, it's probably a level 10, right? If you've got a really full stomach and you're bloated and swollen and puffy, and someone says, what's your pain level? You probably say, I don't know, 4, maybe a 5. And then they ask, well, what's your emotional or mental pain level? You'd probably be like, if 20, it's a 20. I'm freaking out. This is too much. I can't bear it. So you have to kind of be able to discern between physical discomfort and that mental and emotional discomfort that you'll experience as you're going through extreme hunger. And once you can identify the two, okay, yes, I have this really, really, really strong discomfort that my brain's sending all these messages that was wrong. You shouldn't have done that. You're eating too much. This is never going to end. You're obsessed with food. You're going to become addicted to sugar. You've got to turn this around. This is not something that's for you. You don't even need to gain this much, blah, 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 all that stuff. It's going to cause you so much discomfort. Put a pause and just be like, hold on, stop a second. Just let's assess how my body actually feels. Yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable and I don't really love it. But if I can just get through this and endure it and keep going, all of these crazy, intense emotions are going to slowly come down. Slowly come down. It's going to feel more bearable. And you're going to be like, yeah, I hate that it's making me feel guilty, but whatever, I'm just going to eat more food. And then you keep doing that, and then it keeps kind of slowly coming down until your brain no longer feels like it has to fire all of those emotions when you eat a lot of food. And that's kind of what your experience is going to, if you're doing this right and you're really honoring that extreme hunger, be it mental or physical hunger, that's kind of how that process goes. It does come to an end eventually. But for everyone, that's different. So people will ask, how long does this last? I don't know. I have no idea. That's like asking, I don't know, a baby that was just born, like, well, how tall do you think that baby's going to get? It's like, you can kind of give it a guess based off of the length of the baby when they're born, maybe, but like, you don't have any idea. It's going to be the same thing when people ask me, I don't know. If anyone actually tells you how long extreme hunger is going to last for you, they're making up some timeline. There's no way that anyone knows other than your body. But what I can say with surety and with confidence is the more consistent you are and the more diligent you are, more brave and aggressive you are, the more tenacious you are, the quicker you're going to get through this process. But if you're someone that's kind of pushing for a couple days and then you freak out and you kind of run back and then you push for a few days and then you let doubt get the best of you and then you kind of slow down a little, that forward and back, I don't know, years, if ever. It's not very sustainable, so maybe never. But if you're like in it, you hit day 2, day 3, and you're just freaking out and you're feeling uncomfortable and you're thinking this is never going to end, but you wake up the next morning and do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you fight through it and keep going, there will be an end, and it will get better. So hopefully that answers the many questions I've been getting this week on extreme hunger, and hopefully it makes you think and it helps you make some changes in your own recovery, whatever that needs to be. All right, have a good day.